Just checking the sound real quick. See where we're at. Just checking the sound real quick. See where we're at. Sounds like we're good. So welcome. My name is Alex. I am the, runner of this channel, Final Fantasy Survives. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I wanted to play. Excuse me, it's like we're burping already. I want to play a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 into my birthday. Another thing we're trying is I'm going to see how streaming in HD does. Usually I've streamed in the past in 720p and maybe even 480 when I first started. Then I went up to 720. We're going to see how the stream does with 1080p. And we'll see how the trusty old Mac handles that. Right now, it's like usually the CPU percentage for 720p keeps the CPU between 14 to 17%. Right now, it's been kind of coasting between 20 and 25. When I used to stream from my laptop, sometimes it would go all the way up to like 50 to 80% of the CPU. So I feel like 22 isn't that big of a deal. I have to do some Google searching, but we'll see. We'll see if there's any lag or anything like that. But welcome. If you're new here, check out my most recent my most recent video on Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering. I have some thoughts. And watching the presentation did soften me a little bit, but not by a lot. I wouldn't say I'm a naysayer. I think people that are excited about it, I'm glad you're excited about it. All right. So let's get to it. You'll see me glance this way a couple times, mostly throughout the night, because I want to make sure that the stream isn't dropping. In fact, I'm actually going to move my phone over here. Who has Uplander come to ring a Mutamix Bubbly Pops? It's a goblin, Final Fantasy XI. Fighting Tool drinks in Air Self. When full of Eorzea, Fighting Tool changes to Shony Shine, name of Materia. Oh yeah, that's right, we're learning about Materia today. Materia join with other Fighty Tool. Then Big Eyes, Fighty Tool gains power of Air Self. Shh. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is a friend of Minfilia. I checked. You cannot romance Minfilia, unfortunately. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of Materia. Uplander brings Fighty Tool to Mutamix, yes? Mic drop. Shh! Fighty Tool is unstrong as Eating Tool. Make good Teachy show of power of Materia. the Materia Master. Now, eyes of Uplander point at Fighting Tool. Yes? Psh, tough. Materia join with Fighting Tool. Fighting Tool gains power of Materia. Fighting Tool reborn. Here, Uplander. Take Fighting Tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the aether constitutes from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with an owner's spirit. When ye attach a piece of materia to gear, ye imbue the host's item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned the dagger o' yours from somewhat as some would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia, then Uplander best fill and brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowledge of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learny ones of Mutamix. Alright. Oh. I will accept your challenge. Whew. A spot of triple tide would certainly break up the monotony of constant research. Shall we begin then? Yes, we shall. I don't have enough MGP. I didn't realize it would cost me stuff to challenge outside of the gold saucer. Tis a wee bit silly. Hopefully I can get a mount at some point. I feel like that'd be extremely helpful. Welcome back, Cade. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful? Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only to look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I am sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well be give you the edge you need, Cade, so make it your ally. Now, it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you are ready to begin. Alright, Phoebes. The Immortal Flames. Sounds dangerous. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amage to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amage responsible for those abductions, and so they mean to have the Ungust attend as planned. As the Amage are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Cade. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. So I just joined. Before he left, he bade me tell you, save some for him, such as his confidence in you, a confidence I share. I said, lady, you just met me. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flames Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Camp Drybone, huh? I'll just teleport to Black Stallion and walk a little bit. Save myself the gill. Lord of the Inferno. So I've noticed that leveling up has become a little bit more infrequent, shall we say. The level cap for the free trial is 70, and I'm at level 34. So at some point I will stop leveling up. I'll be curious to see if that will happen during the base game or during the two, because I believe Heaven's Word and Shadowbringers are included with the free trial. Because it's like the experience gap between levels increases, which makes sense. I mean, they don't want you to get to the highest level, which I believe the level cap for the game in general is 99, if I'm not mistaken. Which is the same for Final Fantasy 11. I think most of the Final Fantasy games, the level cap is 99. Like that's the highest level you can reach. So it's almost tradition. Parkour. Alright, Flame Sergeant, tell me what's what. Ah, you're Cade Altiar of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Homage and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The Lizardmen aren't aware that their man, Ungust, has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point. Rendezvous? Wow. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Look at this poor guy on the left, just forever trying to lift this box. That is a good way to throw out your back. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we must count, and so must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. Well, if it's invisible, how am I supposed to find it? We stand to learn much and more of the Homage's plot if the mission succeeds, Cade. Let's make sure that it does. The Invisible City. It's like, who finds the invisible string? And I guess it's up to me to find the invisible city. It's like, do you find an invisible city by using invisible, like, glasses? And then how do you find those glasses if you lose them? With my luck, I'd end up stepping on them. So far, the stream health is holding up. We're about 20 minutes into it. If you're just now joining, this might be my first time streaming in 1080p HD. Usually, I've streamed in the past in 720p and then 480 before that, because my laptop that I was streaming off of could only handle 480, and even then it would still crash. And then my lovely fiance was nice enough to let me use her Mac that she wasn't using. So the Mac does extremely well. So I was just thinking, I was watching a replay of Tuesday's stream, and I was like, the picture quality is fine, but it could be better. So we'll see. I'll rewatch some of the stream either tomorrow or over the weekend to see how it did. I mean, according to what the Mac is saying, it literally says excellent and 0 dropped frames. So, all right, let's see this invisible city. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good, we make our move as soon as the Homage appear. Yes, sir. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Did they trap the trapeze? Ha 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 ha! Ah ha 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 ha! I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. Traitor! I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Do you not wonder how I managed it? 'Twas almost as if somebody was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Ah! Quick! Drink some orange juice. Haha, how long will you last, I wonder? I don't know why you're talking smack. Another wave! Stay sharp, men! Not here, not like this. I bet Thancred's gonna come in. Save the day. Uh-oh. You're going to say, did we lose? Put up your weapon or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Ah! Bring her. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. Well, good game, everybody. Why am I not tied up? I fear the homage mean to give us to their gods as an offering. If I must die, then let us me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Okay. Interesting. Yes, I will enter the bowl with a party of players. Let us enter the bowl. While we're waiting, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. BRB. All right. Level 39. Oh, cool. Level 100. Can I chat? Let me see if I can chat with. probably like, look at this noob struggle. If I get the full version where I can use chat, oops. Sounds like we're getting ready to start. Okay. Are we going in or what? Did I miss something? Hello? There we go. That's the way. No pressure. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Hey, that rhymes. Our mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us your divine presence. I'm not scared of you, Ifrit. O mighty Ifrit, we bring you before your ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells! Bring those two as well. Oh, what's going on? This ain't what we agreed. Oh, you got yeeted. None but servants of the Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of men, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more, loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Is that what he sounds like? Ooh, mighty Ifrit. My one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible, but what sorcery do you resist my master's will? I'm the warrior of light, yo. Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another. Yes, that is only... It belongs to Menphilia. Forsooth. Waiting. Thy frail mortal frame can serve as a vessel to the blessing of what but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxes clear. Thou art the godless blessed numbered. The paragons warmed of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. You know, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. Alright, it's going okay so far. Surprised I haven't gotten his attention. Ah! tis but a scratch. I'll just continue hitting him in the butt. Thou shalt burn for an eternity. Oh, that's ah! Woo! I mean, he's got to have multiple phases, right? Or not. Oh, we're in the Crystal Abyss again this time. It's pretty cool visuals. Pray forgive my lateness. Thancred. No big deal, I just fought a fire god. I was delayed by a congregation of Amaja's zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Huh. Persistent. Phew! I see the Bloodsworn wastes no time in extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Cade. And I know this mission would prove so dangerous I would never have left you to face it alone. You must have been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings. Cramp dry bone, shall we? This way, sir. So, that was the mighty Ifrit. Who's this guy? And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I have anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan interference into account. You should have known better than to rely on 5-year-old data left by the the 7th Legion. No one can expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We can only have ourselves to rely on. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meteor of yours is too old to give any reading worth a darn. Not that there was aught worth a darn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by the adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Yes, I can only chat when I'm invited to a party, which is nice that they don't just make you stay completely silent. Yes. Ah, there you are, Cade. Come, rest well while you have no better opportunity. After witnessing their gods' ignominious defeat, the Maj will be less inclined to risk their wrath, for a time at least. Our wrath. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use, to you or the abductees. This may be... Sorry, my cat's playing with a AA battery. They may be a whole body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempted. Ah, yes, but it still suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all of our misfortunes, there's still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. Really? He's just gone? That is indeed of no ordinary individual, Cade. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary, on the contrary. I've long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talents remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Walking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Ugh. Ooh, excuse me. Somebody just left their sword out here. It's wild. I'm gonna take another quick break before we talk to Menphilia, but I won't be too long. Just give me a moment. All right. Checking in on the health, it's still rated excellent. Frames drops are 0.1%. 78 drop frames. I have no idea what that means, but that seems like a low enough number to me, right? Maybe I'll do some side quests after Dias, after I talk to she who doesn't know she's my wife yet. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Menphilia. You should join them at once. Lady Menphilia is most eager to see you, and I am eager to see her as well. Darn. My late arrival nearly cost Cade her life. I wasn't there when the Image took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have been faced such dangers alone. I have failed her utterly, just as I am failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Cade, it's good to see you again. Wonder if I get a choice whether or not I'm mad at Thancred. Impeccable timing, my friend. Who said we were friends? I had just finished regaling Menphilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we could put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Image undertook both robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is the tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa, Lamanzia, and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation and flows through all life, and permeates the very air that we breathe. So it's like the Force. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to the primal. Which leaves us with why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primal are born. When all is well with this world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those worship the primal cries of their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries, I swear, Menphilia, I'm just reading your text box, I'm not staring. Which of the primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is coming together, an etheric coalescence which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their gods become. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as such their adherents freely give. And in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected, thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is through a greater power, as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust now you begin to see why. If I remember right, the Echo does. I think Menphilia, Thancred, and Y'shtola also have the Echo, if I'm not mistaken. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. Oh, she does that. While I share your concern, my providing feeling is one of relief of your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they would deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take advantage of the respite, Cade. Respite? You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nearly a moment to yourself. So Ifrit's just dead? I mean, do gods really die? Whether she intended to or not, I'm feeling neglected to tell you something. Something I think that you best heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, the information must not be known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there was any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom we cannot choose but worship. Okay, so the guys that were mind controlled by Ifrit, they're basically saying that they have to be kind of put down. And so we silence to continue our fight, that no more innocents need to be sacrificed. Hope that you will continue to stand with us, Cade. So I wonder if there's another solution to that. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the loss of his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Luix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Take a break from the MSQ and do some side quests. I never thought, like, will they let me poke around a little bit? Yeah, it's Y'shtola. Our organization, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, was formed through the union of two separate entities. The first was comprised of the Charlayan natives, such as myself, and was called the Circle of Knowing. The second made of individuals that share your rare gift, known as the Path of the 12. The terrible events that ushered the Seventh Umbra era taught us that only together may we stand against the evil that seeks to consume us. Oh, wow. Got a secret room back here. Hi-ho Silver away. Following a try and see voyage, Tatafu could use an adventure, a mop, and a bath in that order. Well, this pretty kettle of fish, you'd think Rigadin would be able to be too big to get seasick. Oh, adventure, you there, looking for work perchance? Name's Tafu. I'm a merchant, just back from Limsa Limanzia, and I'm in a spot of trouble. I hired this big lug to make deliveries. What I got instead were a couple of chum pails badly in need of emptying. Can't let that stop me, though. Nolly the fisher out of the Crescent Cove needs what I've got, and though this upchucking good for nothing will be up and about by tomorrow, Nanali isn't like to stand in the wait. Okay. I'm nobody's messenger. I'm a delivery boy. So you get extra points if you know what movie that's from. Isn't here yet. Should be, but isn't. Take your large and small sack. Ah, you've got my delivery. You've got it. This sack's got some heft to it, it sure does. It should too, being full of soil. What will I do with this soil? I didn't ask. Put it on the ground, that's what. The litter bag you gave me is filled with seeds. It's time for some farming. Calamity's done made the fish stay away from these waters, so if we don't farm, we don't eat. But there I go running my mouth and you're forgetting the business. Got the gill for Tataru right here. Tell her I'm much obliged. So you better be, as I walked all the way over here. So I'm a level 34 adventurer doing some Death Stranding shit. Pardon my French. Oh, it's the, wow. That's pretty cool. It's, riding the summon from FF10, that's pretty impressive. Swiftly done. Was the fisher satisfied with his bits of land? Ah, the payment it is it? I guess he was satisfied. Thank you. Let's see here. Yawn, tan, tether, that's everything. Can't say I feel easy in my mind about this. Fishers have little enough gills it is without squandering it on La Nosian dirt. My dad's in the chat. He's saying happy birthday. Holy crap, it just hit midnight. Sorry, where was I? What do I know, eh? The farmer in Liminzia I got it from said I'll give the cove's thin soil to the boost it needs. So hey, maybe they'll at least have a fighting chance. Got to have hope, right? Here's the some leftover seeds for you. If you come into a bit of land in one of those adventurers district, go on and set up a vegetable patch or two. Keep that in mind. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I appreciate that. Go figure, I turned 33 during a side quest. Just checking my capture card real quick. Nice and cool. Oh, there's the mechs from Final Fantasy VI. I'm gonna go back to Horizon and see what side quests I can do there. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Ah, don't tell me this is your first visit to this shop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. Kind of a shame it doesn't let me control the chocobo. It just kind of pilots itself. I know the pilot isn't the right word, but I think I got started in I didn't get a chocobo in Final Fantasy XI, but I got a raptor. I feel like I need to get a chocobo. I feel like riding the chocobo in every Final Fantasy is a must if you're gonna play one. Sweet. Chixian, a brass blade, and Horizon has a task for an unoccupied adventure. Hey, that's me. Looking for a task to fill your evening adventure? I may have just the thing if you're not feeling squeamish. Dude, I just fought Ifrit. Here's the job. I need you to draw 4 bottles worth of blood from the mongrels that roam south of here. Once you've had enough, take the foul fluid to the brass blades by the name of Nonzo. You should find him somewhere along the road out of Horizon, bemoaning his terrible fortune, no doubt. Happy hunting! Okay, I think... Alright. You'll notice that there's a percentage increase for XP, which kind of makes the side quests somewhat not that important, but they're cool to do if you know, if you need a break from the main story. But it would be cool if they, if they had more use. Is what I'm trying to say. But we're also talking about a game that has, let's see if I can name all the expansions off the top of my head. Horizon Walker, Shadowbringers, Horizon Walker, Heaven's Word, Shadowbringers, and then I know Endwalker's the 4th. What's the 3rd one? I'm blanking on the 3rd one. And then, of course, there's the most recent one, which is Dawn Trail. So it's like they want you to get through the main story. I mean, the beginning of the story, I should say. Because from what I understand, the expansions up to Endwalker are all connected. Oh. But yeah, I think they want you to get through a Realm Reborn relatively quickly to get to some of the newer content. And from what I understand, Final Fantasy XIV is a lot like 11, where the game gets a lot better through the expansions, which makes sense. I mean, you would hope that a game would only improve the more it's patched and the more content is added to it. Though that's not always the case, I suppose. And I walked right past this. Oh darn! I'm going the wrong way. It's like, see what you do. You make me talk and get all turned around. But maybe near the end of the stream, I'll have a look to see how many hours I've put into Final Fantasy XIV. And so I should be able to look that up on my Xbox profile. So I would guess, this is my 11th video. And I've played it a little bit off stream too. So I would guess I'm at least 25 hours into the game. And that's not including the other 2 characters I did before this. What do you want with me then? Here, have some blood. This is mongrel blood. Thanks to the gods, now I can finally head back to Horizon. Excuse me. Mongrels are the natural enemy of most other predators, you see. Throw their thick blood onto a fire, and the resulting stench will send beasts fleeing from moms around. Makes light work of our patrols as long as we have a steady supply of the nasty stuff, and I'll wager you can guess which brass blade picked the short straw to kill mongrels this time around. Thanks to you, I'm off to enjoy a hot meal and a tankard. May Thal's golden halls await you in the afterlife. Alright. Alright, so let's head back, and I think I'm going to talk to the Scions and continue on with the story. Oh, finally, my heater's kicking on. Just a heads up for anybody that's watching. It gets kind of loud. I'm looking forward to it not being so hot so I could turn it off when I stream. Fortunately, it's about 15 degrees out, so I can't just turn off my central heating for extended periods of time. They really need to put a teleport crystal. It seems like they have a teleport crystal darn near everywhere else, but they don't have one going to where the Scions are at. What's this guy doing? Torturna would like you to call Warbird? Since you're here, might as well make yourself useful. The Orboons swimming around the site are disrupting the thaumaturge's work, which means we've got to slaughter a lot of them. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They're just going to keep spawning in. You can help us by calling 6 of the beasts. Let me know when you've finished. Sounds easy enough. It's like taking Did anybody see that that video of that anglerfish? That's what these guys remind me of. There was that anglerfish that was caught swimming up to the top of the ocean, which I guess it's been guessed that it's been theorized, I guess I should say, that they do that. But I think this is the first time it's been caught on video, because usually, you jerk. Usually they're seen, obviously, where they belong, where there's no light. And I think the anglerfish is blind, or mostly blind. That's why its eyes are wide over. It's a pretty cool video. So you can see the black anglerfish sort of going up towards the surface, and I guess it died shortly after. So a lot of people think that it was dying, and wanted to see the sun or something like that. Truth be told, the thaumaturges could have brought their own escort from the city, but seeing as they wanted to take a gander at ruins this close to Horizon, the officers reckoned we'd be held responsible for any incidents regardless, so here we are. It ain't much work, but we've still got to stay on guard. If the Ouroboros so as much nibbles one of their toes, we'll be liable to lose all of ours. So there was another fish video that when well, whales aren't fish, they're mammals, but you know what I mean. There's that guy that got almost swallowed by a whale that was just trying to, of course, get some krill. But it's just amazing the intelligence that creature has to have, and that it could have easily just killed him, and it decided not to. Alright, let's go talk to Menphilia and see what she wants me to do next. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred and the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. Why is she telling me all this? I was there. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and I won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. I mean, I'll sign autographs. We have guests, Cade. Or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Menphilia, radiant as always. Hey, easy. I'm given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Limanzia, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. She seems thrilled. As you can see, Cade, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. I mean, there's only one person I want to court me, Menphilia, to be totally honest. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is such evidence of the higher regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Cade's deed spread so quickly, that the immortal flame should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of other grand companies? Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Altair. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. Am I going to have to pick which one of these guys I go with? What pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Altair. My comrades speak of which of you of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Homage and their dread primal, well, he is a dead primal. Yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you as well. Seems like a little much. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength with ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for Maelstrom. Join our strength to yours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Limonzia to the shores of glory. Lady Menphilia. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the grand companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea. The Maelstrom of Limsa Limonzia, the Order Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. It seems like the Immortal Flames is where I should go, because that was my starting city, but we'll see. Although Gridania has my favorite town theme in the game. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which will provide useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which grand company best deserves your loyalty, please be at ease. The commitment you make this day may not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice that you face. A thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you to make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, milady. Very well. Let Cade hear our leader speak. Then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited for the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing itself, it's not the only benefit. Do tell. You are possessed of great power, Cade, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman. Indeed, I am. In the midst of grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have in need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, speak to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect you to be afield more often in the future. As such, I will have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow you to stay in touch regardless of location. Ooh, she basically just gave me her number. Eorzea is changing, Cade, and I have the power, and you have the power to help shape it anew. No one can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we can achieve. Now it is time to make ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure you speak to Tartaru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrances services are due to take place. That is a mouthful. Again, I feel like the natural choice is to go with the city that I started in, Gul'dah. But we'll see. Maybe one of them will say something that will make me go the other way. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Cade. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often. To a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if next necessary. Anyways, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first 3 services. The Elder Cedar Khan Isina will deliver her address at Mikito's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point, due to the organizational challenge involved in assembling all parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that. So make Gridania your first port to call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where the Flame General Ruban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there will be a special guest. How exciting. Wonder who that might be. Last, but not least, you may make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lamanzia, where the Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlwib, and I'm not going to try to read the rest of that, will be giving her address. This room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xanthiel, and he will admit you. Got all that? I think so. Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest you visit the city-states in my prescribing order. Though your record is impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in your favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Okay. So we're going to Gridania first, right? Man, that is expensive. I see the 5 people are watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted to say I appreciate. Here's Gridania. Just love the theme of Gridania. I think it's pretty. Debating on whether or not I want to do a side quest or 2 while I'm here. Level 1 quest. Ideal is looking for an adventure to deliver a forgotten item. Well, we can't let it go undelivered. An adventure. Precisely what we needed. Not a moment ago, we dispatched our newest recruit, Ator, to inspect Mikito's amphitheater. We're glad to believe that the young Her has more spirit than sense, and he charged off without his tools. Suffice it to say, we won't be getting any work done. Would you be so kind as to deliver it to him? Wonderful. Excuse me. Seek out Lulik in the Acorn Orchard, behind the Arterim. He should have Ator's tools. I vaguely remember doing this quest when I played the game for a little bit the first time. There they are. Ideal sent you. Give me a moment. Here they are, still fresh and unused as the day he got them. Doubt he's even realized he left the bloody things behind. First day and he forgets his tools. Daft Sod needs to kick up the... But, you know, whether or not people comment or not, I always appreciate checking out the videos. Hard to believe I started this channel over a year ago. It was February of last year, I think is what it was. Feels like I've just started, which I think is a good feeling. But my goal is this year is hoping to get in the triple digits. Don't get me wrong. 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year would be amazing. But my goal, I'm just keeping between 100 to 999. Because right now I'm at, what am I at? 30 subscribers. I'm terribly busy right now. Would you think not to bother me? I'm a carpenter of the prestigious Oak Arterim, and I have repairs to... Here, take your toolbox. Where did I put my... Oh, gods. I take it you're from the guild too, then. What's that? Idil sent you with my tools? Ah, yes. I was actually just about to go get them, and, oh, this is so embarrassing. My apologies. It's just that I've been so focused on the task at hand. You know, it's a miracle that this amphitheater even survived the calamity. It was... The Carpenters Guild has saved it, moving it piece by piece and rebuilding it. When I saw that they had what they had done to Gridania, I knew what I wanted to be. But gods, when they told me my first task was come here. Anyway, thank you for bringing me my tools. You're new to the old Oak Artem too, right? Well, let's both work hard for the good of the guild, eh? Oh, and may the elements watch over you and keep you safe. Oh yeah, give me that. 100 XP. What luck, I'm right here. Alright, let's check out this presentation.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed. Each waking hour, a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity, we must think of the children.
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
Follow
forest.
the elementals!
You have my courage, and my bow, and my axe. Okay, so that was presentation 1, I would guess.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Oh, there. Yep. The Gridanians are fortunate enough to have continued with 2 beast tribes. The Ixil are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of naturally warlike disposition and won't summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof and changed observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Brumud. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixil ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty. though one wonders how long it will be before it's broken. Twelveswood was previously wounded during the calamity, leaving the Gridania vulnerable to attack. People are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elements, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will it take? Centuries, I would wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursion, spurred by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later will come to an all-out war. When it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? I'm going to head to Ul'dah next, but I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm back. So they gotta reimburse me for my teleporting fees? Gonna have to take a teleportation crystal up there. Again, this is the one I'm leaning towards because my character is from here. Or at least this is where they first arrived. They're not necessarily from here. We arrived in a carriage.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimo herself!
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
The bosom of the desert, huh?
Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ur dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold, where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm.
I guess the twins are following me.
In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you, line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Da for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Raoban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Uldar, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
Huzzah!
Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
Yeah, fancy that. The Uldans have long history of conflict with the Amaj, but the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So they have dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is struck to life. Yet, he is but one of several problems. Though they might have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Uldar has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultan's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they have the coin, resources will be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amaj are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and even though they will invariably succeed, each victory is fraught with blood. It is a war of attrition, which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be the most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope the Flame General's words struck a chord with you. Boy, she is, kind of quiet. Alright. One more PowerPoint to attend to. So this whole trip has cost me about 1,500 gil. Maybe this one will surprise me. So I didn't really consider this being a potential choice because I know very little out of all the nations. This is the one I know the least about. So maybe I should create another character and just go through the very beginning of this nation just to get like a feel for it. Yeah, I remember you. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Let's do it.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Oh, I remember this person.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
I know that voice. Need to look up that voice actress.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay.
Hold on. Hold, please. What's her name? Merlwib?
In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
If I'm right, I think she's voiced by the actress that voiced Ikadora. Ihidoka, there it is, in the game Evil Zone. Sounds a lot like her.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
Bloody pirates.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and
Gosh,
our
that sounds so
company
much like
was
her.
reborn.
One of my favorite PS1 games, Evil Zone. Probably my favorite fighting game ever.
All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive.
That feels like all three of these nations are saying the same thing. Like, hey, we fought the hardest out of everybody, and we lost the most. Maybe that's
Join
kind
me
of the
now
point.
in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now, the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
So many ship puns. Puns, not puns, but analogies. So many ship analogies.
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral.
Alrighty then.
Fancy meeting you again.
I'll say. Borderline stalker. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limva Lamanzia is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are fish-like Sahugan, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As for the beast tribe's presence were trouble enough, the Garleans have chosen to erect a fortress right in Lamanzia's backyard. And it is to say not of infernal strife, a nation of pirates, there is no end of blood feuds between various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lamanzians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat defeated once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take the decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched as deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Oh. Mephilia is paging me. Okay, this is Mephilia. You are well, I hope? Would I be correct in thinking that the final reverence service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say. What a coinkydink. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though as they are to have them here at the Walking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Horizon. Alright. I'm gonna look up this voice actress real quick to see if my trusty ears were correct. So her name is Lanny Manila. See if I can show off a picture of what this character looks like. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how well my camera is going to pick it up, but yep, that's the main villain from Evil Zone. Let's see what other credits she has. Apparently, she was in the 2013 Riddick, good movie, Justice League Unlimited. I'm not seeing Final Fantasy 14, but let me double check. Let me get on IMDb specifically, because it sounds just like her, which would be wild. Starfield. She voiced Galadriel in Lord of the Rings Online, which is fitting. Sure, she... gotta go all the way back to Final Fantasy XIV launched in 2012, with Realm Reborn coming out in 2013, so we'll start in 2012. Sorry, but it's gonna bother me if I don't look this up. She also voiced an infected in The Last of Us. She voiced a character in EverQuest 2. I'm not seeing Final Fantasy XIV as one of her credits. I may have been wrong. Yep. Darn. Sounded just like her. But hey, can't always be right. I picked up a game not too long ago called, I think it was Heroes of Might and Magic, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like of the Might and Magic series, and I got it for the PlayStation 1 because I had the game when I was a kid. And the game is difficult, especially back when I didn't understand how it worked, but it's voiced by, the main character is voiced by Kevin Conroy. You get this, the character, his parents were murdered, and now he's on a path of vengeance. Not saying Kevin Conroy got typecasted, but I'm sure that it was an easier role for him to pick up on. Because he was literally the knight and vengeance. But once I get to this door, I think that'll be it for tonight. We're already sitting at 2.5 hours. I think it's been a relatively good stream. I think as far as like views, this is the most I've had since I got a decent amount while playing Final Fantasy XI. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that stopped by, whether you commented or not. Feels good to be 33. I think celebrating birthdays is important, especially as we get older. Yeah, not to get super sentimental, but I don't like, oh, I'm grown up now, so I shouldn't be celebrating my birthday. I don't like the mentality of, oh, it's just another year. So I know it's like 12 months has passed since my last birthday. I think that's an incredible thing, especially with how dangerous my day-to-day job can be. But let's check out these numbers real quick. See if I can find it. Gaming. Oops. Final Fantasy 14. Go to stats. Alright, so I was right. So I'm sitting at 24. Longer than I thought. So almost 33 hours. Wow. Usually, like, Final Fantasy 15, not doing any of the side stuff. Well, doing some of the side stuff, but not all of it. Took me about 35 hours. And then to put it into perspective with the other Final Fantasy games, obviously the MMOs are huge, and they need to be because people pay a monthly fee for them, typically. So, like Final Fantasy VII took me about 45 hours to finish. Final Fantasy VIII also took me about that same length. Final Fantasy X took me, what was it, 70 hours, I think. And then Final Fantasy XII took me about 95 to finish. And what's crazy about Final Fantasy XII is like 90 hours sounds like a lot, but I wasn't ready to let the game go. I was like, it's over already. But it's like my mom is very much into the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and she's put about 400 hours into each of those, which is awesome. It's really cool. It's crazy to think that if you told me back in high school that my mom would game more than me, I would say that you're crazy. But I think it's great because my parents worked super hard, and I think the four of us, me and my 3 siblings, turned out okay. So it's cool that, the 4 of us, mostly my brother and I, but the girls too, grew up with video games, and it's cool that both my parents have kind of gotten into it. But yep, that's the birthday stream. What else is there to say? I'll be back Tuesday with more Final Fantasy 14. I'll be curious to see how long it takes to finish A Realm Reborn to get into the next expansions. I think once I finish A Realm Reborn, I might play something else for a little bit. Maybe I'll jump back into Final Fantasy 11 for another month or two, because I still need to finish base 11, because I didn't even get to the expansions. But I was about to fight the Shadow Lord, I think. So I feel like I really need to get to that part. Yep. I'll catch you guys next Tuesday.